Dear students, Salam Alaikum. Today we shall start the fourth topic, which is about force. So we need force to move anything. But accompanying the force are several quantities, which we shall talk about today. The first is the momentum. One way to define momentum is that momentum is equal to product of mass and velocity. By product we means multiply. 6 is product of 2 and 3, 10 is product of 2 and 5 because 2 into 5 is equal to 10. Mathematically, momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Product of mass and velocity, you multiply the velocity with the mass. In the previous three topics, we did not use the mass at all, but now we have to use it. And the unit for momentum is, mass unit is kilogram, velocity unit is meters per second, m by s, and we shall also use Newton into second. You will understand this shortly. We write an arrow because it is a vector quantity. Momentum is a vector, so we have to write a vector. Because velocity is a vector, mass is a scalar, you can multiply vector with a number, you'll again get a new vector which will be smaller or bigger in size, and you don't have to worry about this part. Now there are two ways to define force. Force is product of mass and acceleration, F equal to ma. Again, force is a vector quantity. Another way to define force, which is better, is the second definition is better. Force equal to delta P by delta T, rate of change of momentum. So in physics, when we say rate of change, it means we are going to divide with something. Rate of change here means we are going to divide. So it is delta P over delta T. Sometimes delta T we will write simply as T, the total time. The unit for force is Newton. Newton is kilogram meter second minus 2 because F equal to ma. Here m is the mass and the unit is kilogram. Acceleration, it is meter second minus 2. Now there is a third quantity which comes, which is the impulse. Change in momentum is called impulse. Impulse is the product of force and time. So impulse is equal to force into time. The force can act for a small time or for a long time. So we say impulse equal to force into time. So the unit is Newton times second. Now impulse is change in momentum. So when you subtract two momentum, the second momentum minus first momentum, so the units are going to remain the same. So impulse has the same units as momentum. You can say kilogram meter second minus 1, or you can say Newton second. Now let's see what happens when two forces act together. Sometimes we have two people pushing the same table. Now suppose the force is at right angle. Now what is the right angle? See, if you look at the corner of your room, the wall will be going straight up. So that angle going straight up is called right angle. It is 90 degrees, or it is pi by 2 radians. Pi by 2 radians. This is small c means circle, and this is a full circle means degrees. The way you say for your temperatures, degree Fahrenheit, degree centigrade. Here you see the angle is 90 degrees, or you can say pi by 2 radians, where pi by 2 equal to the usual pi, which is 3.1415, or you can sometimes write 22 by 7. So when these two forces act at 90 degrees, Fy is the vertical force, Fx is the horizontal force. The resultant force Fr will be equal to Fx square plus Fy square under root, and the angle will come from this tan inverse Fy by Fx. So in your calculator there are three ways to handle the angle: degrees, radians, and the third one is rads. Rads are not fashionable. We'll be using degrees and radians. So please use the mode button in your calculator and be aware of what you are using. You should know what you are using, whether you are using Beza or Real, dollar or pound or yen. So you have to be conscious about the units in all your physics cases. For angle, there are two units, the degrees and the radians, and this is the conversion factor. 90 degrees is equal to pi by 2 radians. We will discuss this in the calculations. Now let's look at problem 1. Prove that impulse is equal to product of force and time. Now what's the definition of impulse? Change in momentum. Impulse equal to delta P equal to Pf minus Pi. Now how much is momentum? Momentum is mass into velocity. mvf minus mvi. The mass is going to be the same. The mass doesn't change as such in Newtonian mechanics. So m equal to, take m common, vf minus vi. Now what is vf minus vi? Vf minus vi equal to acceleration into time. Remember your last chapter. So this is mass into acceleration into time. Mass into acceleration is force. So impulse is equal to force into time. This is one way of doing it. Now the next thing is prove that force is equal to product of mass and acceleration. Now F equal to delta P by delta T, Pf minus Pi divided by T. We can write delta T, sometimes we'll write only T. This is equal to m into Vf minus m into Vi. Take m and common, you'll get Vf minus Vi by T. Now what is this quantity? This quantity in the bracket is the definition of acceleration. So m into a. So you can conclude that force is equal to mass into acceleration. So you should know the derivation and you should also know the formula. So F equal to ma is one formula, impulse equal to force into time, and the first thing is momentum is mass into velocity. So we have learned three formulae today, one for momentum, one for impulse, one for force. Now let's look at a numerical question. A force of 16 newtons acts on a ball of mass 800 grams for 1 microsecond. Calculate the acceleration and the impulse. Now remember your first chapter on units. How much is 800 grams? 800 grams is 800 divided by 1000, you'll get 0.80 kilogram. How much is microsecond? Micro means 1 by million, 10 power minus 6. So you'll get 1 into 10 power minus 6 seconds and 16 Newton. What's the formula for impulse? Force into time. 16 Newton into 10 power minus 6 seconds. You'll get 1.6 into 10 power 5 kilogram meter by second, or you can also write Newton second. Both are fine. Acceleration is force by mass. 16 Newton divided by 0.8 kgs, 0.8 kgs. No need to read the zero. This point is important. 0.8. 16 divided by 0.8 is 20. And the unit for acceleration is meter per second square. Now let's go to the next problem. A ball of 200 gram moving horizontally with a velocity of 30 meters per second hits a wall and rebounds with the same velocity. Now what happens? If you throw a ball on the wall, it will come back with almost the same velocity. If you don't talk about air and the surface of the wall, you'll get back the same velocity and the ball will touch the wall for a very small time. Here we have taken as 0.1 second, but actual time will be smaller than that. So the mass of the ball is 200 gram, which is 0.2 kg. Divide 200 by 1000, you'll get 0.2. The starting speed is 30. The final speed will be minus 30. Look, the direction is changing. If it is going to the left, then it will go to the right. If it is going to the right, it will go opposite to the left. So we'll put first one as plus 30, second one as minus 30. You can do opposite. Put minus 30 first, the second will become plus 30. Now the acceleration is Vf minus Vi over T. Now final is minus 30. Initial is minus 30. There is a minus in the formula, divided by 0.1. You'll get minus 60 divided by 0.1, which is minus 600 meters per second square. If you take opposite here, you will get plus 600. Both answers are correct in some sense. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Now the acceleration we have calculated, 0.2 into minus 600 will give you 120 newtons with the minus sign. If you choose opposite here, you will get plus 120. Both are fine in this question, but in some other questions you have to be careful, because in the problem it was not given whether the ball is moving to the left or to the right. So you have to make a judgment. So you can get answer minus 600 or plus 600, minus 120 or plus 120. Now again the fifth problem is same with different numbers. 100 kg is moving horizontally with 30 meters per second, hits the wall and comes back. Calculate the value of the impulse. Now here the time is not given. You have to directly calculate. It is not same, it's a different problem. 4 and 5 are different. Now the mass is given. The initial speed is 30. The final will become minus 20 because of the direction change. Now the initial momentum is 100 into 30, which is 30,000 kilograms meter per second. The final momentum is m into vf, 100 into minus 20, which is minus 20 minus 2000 kilograms meters per second. This is 3000 kilograms meter per second. This is minus 2000 kilograms meters per second. What's the definition of impulse? Delta p, change in momentum, final momentum minus initial, minus 2000 minus 3000 equal to minus 5000 kilograms meters per second. If you take opposite directions here, you will get plus 5000. Both answers are correct. Now let's look at problem 6. For the following free body diagram, the net force is equal to 60 Newton up. Determine the unknown forces A and B. Now this mass is going to experience a force of 60 Newton up. There is no forces effectively on the left and right, so your left-right forces will cancel each other. If two people push the table from the opposite side, the table will not move if the forces are equal. So there are two ways to do it. One way to do it is left is negative, right is positive, up is positive, down is negative. It is just like your graph paper. Now the body is not moving to the left and it's not moving to the right. So the total left-right force is 0. So you can say minus 90 plus A plus 40 equal to 0. Solve this equation, you will get A equal to 50 Newton. Another way of doing it is left forces equal to right forces. 90 equal to A plus 40. So A equal to 50, you solve this equation. Now the body is experiencing a total force of 60 up. So B plus 10 minus 70. Look, B plus 10 is positive, 70 is negative because it is down. So minus 70 and the result is 60 up given in the question. So B plus 10 minus 70 equal to 60. Solve for B, you will get 60 plus 70 minus 10, which is 120 newtons up. Please write up and down in this kind of question. Now let's look at the next problem. Again, we have the same diagram, only numbers are changing. Now balance the left force with the right force. Minus 50 plus A plus 20 equal to 0 because it's not moving left, it is not moving right, it is moving only up and down. So you'll get A equal to 30 newtons to the right. You should write 30 newtons to the right. And the body is experiencing a net force of 40 Newton up. It is given in the question. So B plus 80, look, B plus 20 minus 70 equal to 40. So B plus 20 minus 70 equal to 40. B equal to 40 plus 70 minus 20. It is 70 Newton up. We have to write left, right and this thing. I'll correct this when I give you the handout. Additional information. Now the next two questions are simple. Three questions are same. This is about the diagram in the first page. Two forces of 5 Newton and 12 Newton act at right angles on a block of mass 40 kg. Find the net force. Calculate the acceleration, both magnitude and direction. Now the magnitude is given by, let's look at the formula once again. Two forces are acting, Fx and Fy, and Fr is the resultant. The middle line is called the diagonal in the rectangle and square, and the direction is tan inverse Fy over x. In this semester, not in math and physics, we always do y divided by x. The y component divided by x component. You will see it in other chapters also. So two forces of 5 Newton and 12 Newton act at right angles. So 5 square plus 12 square, one is x, one is y. We do not know which is x, which is y. So 5 square plus 12 square, 25 plus 144 equal to 169. Take the square root, you will get 13 newtons. Now the direction is tan inverse 12 by 5. 12 by 5 is 2.4. When you do it in your calculator, check whether it is showing degrees or radians. If you do it in degrees, you will get 67.38 degrees. This is the way you write degrees before the point. And 1.17 radians. The acceleration A equal to F by m, 13 newtons is the answer here, divided by 40 kgs. It is given here 40 kgs. 13 by 40 is 0.325, and the unit for acceleration is meter per second square. Do not write Newton by kg. Normally we do not write it. In some books they do write it in special situations. For ordinary problems like this, write meters per second square. Now two forces 10 Newton and 24 Newton act at right angles. Just like your last question, and the mass is 50 kg, you have to find the magnitude and the direction of the net force. Now one is x, one is y. Which is x, which is y? It is not given in the question. We don't have to know it also. 10 square plus 24 square. First is normally the x, second is y. Normally we assume it like that. 10 square plus 24 square, 100 plus 576, 676. The root is 26 newtons. And acceleration is 26 divided by 50. You will get 0.52 meters per second square. Exactly. There are no numbers, additional numbers after the point. Now y by x, 24 divided by 10, 2.4. Here x and y is not important, but here x and y is important. First is x, second is y, because in English language x comes before the y. So 24 by 10, you will get 2.4. Tan inverse 2.4 is 67 degrees, 0.38. Or you can say 67.38 degrees and 1.17 radians. You should know the units. Look at your calculator setting and then decide. Next question is, the numbers are easier than the last time. 6 newtons and 8 newtons. 6 square plus 8 square, 36 plus 64, you'll get 100. Square root of 100 is 10. I have taken perfect squares. Now tan inverse y by x, fy by fx, 8 by x is 1.333. Tan inverse 1.33 is 53.13 degrees, or 0.927 radians. And the acceleration is force divided by the mass, 10 newtons divided by 20 kgs, which is 0.5 meters per second square. There are only 10 problems in this topic, then they are sufficient. We'll be doing similar things in other chapters, so this chapter is important to understand the next chapters. Now let's look at the MCQs. Which one of the following can produce an acceleration of 4 meters per second square? Now look at all the questions. It gives one force and one mass. 2 by 2 is 1, not correct. 4 by 16 is less than 1, we want 4. It is 0.25. 8 by 2 is 4, so C is correct. 2 by 8 is 1 by 4, 0.25, it is not correct. The unit of momentum is Newton second and kilogram meter second minus 1. The unit of momentum is kilogram meter second minus 1. The unit of impulse is Newton second, kilogram meter second minus 1. Both are correct. So you decide which one is correct. The unit of impulse is kilogram meter second minus 1. Or you can also say Newton second. So these are questions about the units. We have seen some of these questions in your first chapter. You are seeing them again now. The unit of force is Newton. Another unit of force is mass into acceleration. Mass is kilogram, acceleration is meter second minus 2. So this is also a correct answer. Now 9th and 10th question you'll understand after you do the some more chapters. So we'll not discuss it today. I have just given you the answers. If you can do 9th and 10th today, do it. If you can't do it, don't worry, we'll do them in the new chapters again. Now, a force of 6 Newton acts on a mass of 2 kgs. The body acquires a speed of 30 meters per second. The time for which the force acts. Now you have to combine the ideas from the last chapter and this chapter. The mass of 6 Newton acts on a mass of 2 kgs. Sorry, a force of 6 Newton acts on a body of rest mass 2 kgs. How much is the acceleration? Force by mass. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the acceleration is 3. The starting speed is 0. And the final speed is 30. Use the first equation. Vf equal to Vi plus At. 30 equal to 0 plus 3 into T. T equal to 30 divided by 3, which is equal to 10 seconds. So 10 seconds is the answer. We'll be discussing these questions again in the class. So please go through this video before the next class and also the handout. We'll discuss these things again in the class. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.